Hello everyone, and thanks for giving me the chance to return to the Bitcoin channel. I'm making yet another movie about XRP today, and this one is really cool. If you're reading this, I hope you're all having a wonderful day, no matter where you are in the world. The subject of our conversation will be XRP, and I chose to start with this as a Ripple reaction to the banking GOP's request for information. Ripple brings a unique perspective to the table because it has been around for more than 10 years and has been through a lot in its fight against the SEC. Point of view to the table. We are ready to help make crypto laws that are good for consumers and good for innovation. All of this was written by Stuart Alderati and sent to the Republican Party in the banking work. It's just that Ripple wants to make sure everyone has the same chances. Besides that, they want cryptocurrency to make big steps forward in terms of innovation in the US. It's also possible that when new coins come out in the future, they won't have to pass the Howey test. They will be checked out as part of the Ripple test. But I'm excited to see where this goes from now on. Don't forget that Bank of America has a patent for a combined wallet that works with XRP. A big news could send shockwaves through cryptocurrency. Bank of America has rights for combining Ripple and XRP, which shows that banks have known for a long time what is going to happen. People still don't know that financial companies will use XRP in the future, even though Bank of. The United States has been using XRP for a number of years. For now, everyone in the world should know that they have questions about everything, but this is definitely going to happen. You can now get the RLUSD vault through Doppler Finance. The stablecoin or LUSD from Ripple, which is tied to the US dollar, can now be deposited into Doppler. Users who do this will be paid with more RLUSD. Because of this, it is becoming clear that they are working on ways to make yield on both cryptocurrency and stablecoins. You should understand that there will come a time when you will never sell any of your Bitcoin again. You could use your coin to get a loan. In order to get a mortgage, you could use it as security. By giving your cryptocurrency to other people, you will be able to make money without doing anything. The times are changing because Bitcoin is getting better. People who think we're going to move forward with joke coins and rugs should know that we're not. The institutions will make sure that doesn't happen when they get here. This comes from Smolder. The European banking authorities log from 2025 shows that Ripple met with them twice in private to talk about the control of Mecca and the release of RLUSD in the EU. Just so you know, these meeting logs only talk about Ripple, the only cryptocurrency business. It is also said to be right in front of you at the meeting with Ripple in the EU. An update was given on how the RLUSD problem is going. After that, you can see it again here. Going to a meeting with Ripple and Mark. The European Union already agrees that our LUSD will be the next big thing in money. Besides that, they think XRP is the way of the future. The digital euro is about to be released. Of course that's going to happen. But right now, they are trying to speed it up. They likely want to get this done by October, if I think correctly. From your point of view, what do you think they'll use to move the digital euro around? It will be XRP, because it can move anything of value. And you don't want things to be expensive when you're moving. More and more people want a digital currency that is released by a central bank. I don't think the digital euro will work out in the end, though. I think the European Central Bank will decide to use the stablecoin instead. The exact same thing that is happening in the US is also happening in other countries around the world. Anyone would not want to use a digital currency made by the central bank if the central bank had full power over everyone else's money. When the USSC was broken, it was like a bomb went off in the markets. Finally, stable coins that follow the rules are being recognized as cash alternatives. This is a unique event that could free up billions of dollars in institutional wealth. This means that acceptance has a huge chance to happen, and XRP and RLUSD are in a great place to lead the way. There is now more clarity about the rules. At this point, utility dominance and liftoff are on the way. Since the SEC gave us this information, it is now accepted as being similar to money. Once people know that a stable coin is real money, stable coins will finally be used instead of cash. This is a very important point. There will be a time when people don't use cash because stablecoins will finally take its place. For some reason, people think that something like that will never happen. I think that the change from using cash to not using cash will happen soon after a new president is elected, even though it's very unlikely that this will happen with the current government in charge. When that time comes, most of the other countries will already be putting a lot more pressure on that country. Vincent Van Code gave these words to us. One thing that you can see is what the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission said about some liquid staking behavior. The Securities and Exchange Commission does not think about liquid staking because of this. Business activities to be securities. Vincent Van Cote thinks this is a very important development. Staking is fun, but it's important to be careful when doing it. For the most part, they take tokens. A formal point of view says that you do not own them. If the return is higher, it's likely that the risk is also higher. Also, I have said in the past that there is a lot of risk involved if you have the chance to make 20 to 30% on your tokens. The risk is decreased in line with the falling return. Check in with yourself all the time. What does the company do? They have been added to what place? What kinds of legal protections are there for my tokens? It's important to me to know the rules. Look at it very carefully. Do not just press the accept button. The majority of the time, both your token holdings and any debts that are due to you are seen as low creditors. There's a good chance that you'll get a few cents back if the business fails. A room full of elephants. What the heck are they doing with your tokens that you gave them to return 20% of what they gave you? It's important for them to make at least 25% in order to break even. This is the question you should always be asking yourself. Most scams that promise high yields offer 20%, but you will have to wait a while before they give you the tokens that are equal to your state tokens. It's a sketchy business, so I stay away from it. Use something like AMM-LP fees instead. It will help you more. But if the market is unstable, you'll probably lose money too. Please wait a moment. Not advice about money. He is totally right about that. Most of them will give 20%, but some will go as high as 30% to get people's attention. The vast majority of them will be turned into rugs at some point. You might only get back a few cents on the dollar when everything is said and done. This is why you need to read the terms and conditions of the deal very carefully. Additionally, most of the time, something is too good to be true if it seems too good to be true. Loomis says that the Federal Reserve is stopping cryptocurrency trading. I agree with Cynthia Loomis sometimes, but not very often. Do you think the Federal Reserve is stopping the change in cryptocurrencies? In a word, yes. The way that banks that dealt with digital assets as loans were pretty much forced out of the business. Business by the Fed bank officials who were in charge of keeping an eye on the banking industry. And those banks were in markets that were doing well. None of those banks were going out of business.